Naveen Tewari. Naveen has been a disruptor at heart. So when he started his dream of entrepreneurship, his gang was called Boys with PowerPoint. He followed his dream and broke norms of being an entrepreneur at many levels. For example, he entered into a very niche market of mobile advertising, and against everyone's advice, he started it in India. He changed his company from base in Mumbai, which normally people, all entrepreneurs are happy to go there, but he wanted to go to Bangalore so that he will get the best technology talent. He expanded his young business to global markets when people laughed at his choice. And he proved everyone wrong. Everyone who did not believe in his dream, wrong. Today, he is the founder and CEO of his dream company, a startup that is turning into a technology giant, locking horns with giants like Facebook and Google. He graduated from IIT Kanpur, had a master MBA from Harvard. Actually, he was bestowed with the Dean's Award in Harvard in 2013. His alma mater in IIT also honored him with the Distinguished Alumnus Award for his excellence in entrepreneurship. He and his company sprouted over 30 startups in India, and he has personally invested and supported many startups like Nestaway, Sidewood, Metal, Money Sites, Bombay Canteen, Simmer. A patriot to the core and a believer of startup, and he believes that startups will be the pillars of growing India. He also co-founded iSpirit, which is a change agent with the brain of a think tank and aims to address government policy, create market catalysts, and grow the maturity of product entrepreneurs in order to transform India to a hub of new generation software products. Naveen is a board member of Paytm and also founded and chairs a US-based non-profit called India School Fund, which funds set-up schools in rural India, a cause he cares deeply for. Commemorated as Future Leaders Award by our Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji in 2015, he is identified as 100 most creative people and has been recognized by Fortune as 40 under 40 most powerful, influential, and important people in business in 2015. His company, InMobi, was identified as top 50 disruptive companies by MIT in 2013 and received Forbes India Leadership Award for Outstanding Startup in 2014. I am delighted to welcome the glowing icon of Indian startups, Mr. Naveen Tewari, to deliver his convocation address.
Professor Rao, Professor Ponikat, respected faculty members, friends, all the guests who are here, parents, and the graduating class of 2015, thank you for having me here today. You know, truth be told, you know, I'm dreading this moment, by the way. You know, I'm just, you know, when Professor Jain, you know, who was your Vice Chancellor till very recently, you know, when he called me up to say, look, can you come for, you know, can you come for this speech? You know, I took 2 days to respond to him. You know, not because I was busy, you know, but because I felt that, you know, I'm somewhat like you guys. Yeah, I hate these speeches, by the way. Well, I am one of those who loves to sleep through these speeches and somehow figure out how will it come to an end. But you know what happened today? The tables have turned. So my dear friends, very, very dear friends now, I have a request. Support me for the next 20 minutes. And I will ensure that this remains short. And I will try to make sure I pull out everything on my big sleeves, by the way, to make sure that you have things which you can take away which are useful for you. Standing here today has taken me back 10 years when I graduated, when I attended my last convocation. It's a day of great pride. No questions about that. It is an important day for you. You should be very proud of the fact that you're graduating from one of the most prestigious universities on the planet. It's not, you need to know how lucky you are. You could have been, the probability was that you could have been unlucky. The probability of you being unlucky was much, much higher than you being lucky. So you have to be really proud of what you're going to do today, which is graduating from BITS Pilani Goa campus. So congratulations on being the class of 2015 graduating class. Thank you so much. To be fair, by the way, this day is more important to somebody else than you. Far more important to somebody else than you guys. It is more important to your parents. You should know, I'm pretty sure each one of you know this. I knew this. They went through more hardship, more pain, more sacrifices to see you here today. They have gone through pain that many of you may not even know about. So I'm going to request something from you guys. I'm going to request all of the graduating class of 2015 to stand up. Please stand up. And let us give our parents, who have done everything for us, a massive round of applause for what they have done to us. They need to hear it. If they're not here, it's not loud enough. This is for all of you parents out here. This is what they mean when they really want to thank you. And I know for a fact that you have your head held up high today because you are parents of a proud Bitsian. And that's a very, very rare thing. You are also, graduating from a very amazing university. I have no idea how you guys even study here. I came here yesterday for the first time. I've come to Goa many times. There is a reason you come to Goa. And least of which was what I found here yesterday. So I have no idea how you guys study here. I entered the campus, it felt like, you're entering Tuscany in Italy, or Switzerland, or south of France. That's not a campus that, most of the people go to. So be very, very proud of that kind of a phenomenal campus that you're going through. And, all of the faculty members and people who have made this happen, it's an amazing campus you have here. It's also pretty interesting to see that you're minutes away from places where great minds meet. Think about the future of the world. What I heard, you are a few minutes away from the Bagmello beach. I am pretty sure you go there every day for coming together. Or spend that few moments at, what's that place, John Samuels? I really wanted to go there last night for dinner, but the problem was, I wasn't sure which camp I belonged to, so I went to Leela. Tonight I will be there at John Samuels. If you are there, we'll meet up there. We shall really talk something better. One of the things I didn't realize before coming in here was the strength of the alumni of, BITS Pilani. Day before, I was in my office, just going from one meeting to the next one, just, walking around. And I suddenly entered a slightly common area, and I saw a bunch of people there, like some 30, 40 people. I said, what happened? And they were all like taking photographs, and they were all coming together. I said, what happened? And they said, well, it's a Bitsian day. And we are actually coming together to essentially celebrate that day because we are really, really proud of our alma mater. That's strong, guys. That is strong. I had no idea that in InMobi we have almost 37 Bitsians working for us, and some of them really, really high up there who are disrupting what we are trying to do at the company. So I'm really proud of you guys. I had no idea that you had produced some amazing alumni that work and take us to the next level. So congratulations on that. You're part of a very special group going forward. One other thing that I learned yesterday, it's not even been 24 hours that I've been here. You have an amazing faculty here. Do you know why? BITS, Pilani, Goa. And I don't know about other campuses yet. And maybe after this speech, I will never be called to any of those campuses. So this is the only thing I will know. But BITS, Pilani, Goa campus, I found the faculty members to be treating this place like a startup. They had passion in their eyes to make this successful. I met faculty members that talked about how they put things brick by brick together, how they are trying to compete with the giants out there. There are giants out there who have existed for 50, 60, 100 years. For God's sake, I went to a university that existed for 400 years. You're a little company, you're a little education institution, but you have made massive strides in the last, 11 years? That's massive. That's what these faculty members are all about. They're treating this place like a startup. They are innovating. They need to make changes. It's a private institution that does not get funds from the government. That makes them sharper. They have innovative methods with which they're giving you education that I've not seen before. I think you need to give them a massive round of applause for what they have done for you guys. And therefore, I mention, you're graduating from one of the most amazing universities on the planet. But mind you, don't take your graduation as a mark of success. This is just the beginning. You have just reached step one. So make sure, as you leave these doors today, as you get out of these places, you stay connected to this place. You stay connected to the faculty. You stay connected to your alumni. But more importantly, stay humble and stay grounded because you have a long distance to go. Today, you're transitioning from one stage of life to another. Outside this door, life's tough. It's not Tuscany anymore. It's not south of France anymore. It's a tough life out there. You're going to live for roughly about 60 more years, give and take. Yeah, don't be sad. That's pretty much what it is. It's the truth. It's a long time, right? Seriously? I think it's, roughly it's about 20,000 days left. You have 20,000 days left. Of which, the next 10,000 are the productive ones. You have 10,000 days, guys. 10,000 days of what you're going to do. You roughly spent 8 to 10,000 already. It's critical that you realize that the decisions that you're going to make going forward, the choices you're going to make going forward, especially in the next 1,000 days, define how you're going to spend the remaining 20,000 days of your life. It's absolutely critical to make choices, and choices are important. My own graduation, by the way, was obviously very special to me. I remember it pretty strongly. I came back home, after finishing my last exam, only to find out and enter the home, which was a little morose at that moment. And I thought, look, we'd just come back, from my last exam. I've graduated. Parents should be happy. But they were not. Only to find out that my father was detected with cancer and he has only a few more days left in his life. He was only 45. I was broken. Absolutely broken. I was 21. But that day, he sat me down and he said 3 things to me. And I want to share. Those 3 things have become fundamental to what I am today. And I thought those were the 3 most important things that were ever told to me. It was like, Lord Krishna telling Arjun how to live a life. Those were those 3 things that he told me. And I want to share those 3 things. That's it. 3 simple things. I'm going to share those stories with you today. The first one, I didn't understand it then. You might not also. Having faith. You're going to live a life. You might want to live a life which is absolutely planned and structured and, you can predict every step. But a life is not going to be like that. Your life, you will realize that things will come together. There is a larger plan for each one of you out there. You just don't know it. Things will come together and connect, and you will figure out. Dr. Birla also just said the same thing in his speech. But things will come together. You have to have faith. My story, it is a bit poetic. It is a bit romantic of being an entrepreneur and building a large company. But it is not so, what's visible to every one of you is the story that essentially is, post-2008, when things started to become great. What's not available to all of you is the story between 2006 to 2008, when nothing came together. In 2006, after graduation from the US, I went about trying to have a purpose in life. I said, I must do something which is meaningful. I thought I took a bold decision, only to start regretting it within the 24 hours, that I made a bold decision to not go for a normal job and normal life, but try and do something which is far more deeper and meaningful. Very soon to realize that, look, things are not coming together. I went to essentially work for a very, very small company. I want to work for small companies, very small companies, because I thought I'll have effect and impact there. I went to these companies, they wouldn't hire me. Why? Because I didn't have the skills. I went to the next one, they wouldn't hire me. I went to the third one, they wouldn't hire me. 3 months went away. My friends are buying cars. I'm not. Small thing in the larger scheme of life, very big at that moment. You're questioning yourself. Then somehow you say, okay, I will make it happen because I'm going to drop my prices. I'm not going to charge. I'm not going to get paid. I'll work for free. I started working for free. Few people agreed to accept me. That also, not everybody was willing to accept me. So few people accepted to say, okay, great, work for free. And I thought, when you work for free over a period of time, you'll be able to essentially work longer and you'll get inducted. I did that for 1.5 years. Nothing converted. 2 years. Nothing happened. I was distraught. Keeping a bold face, certainly, but I was distraught inside. I wasn't sure what was happening, why it was happening to me. I'm very, very well educated. Why are things not happening for me? And you go forward and you keep at it. Every day I wanted to quit. Every day I wanted to quit and go away from there. But something kept going. The words of my father to say, have faith, kept me going. The hope, the belief that something is going to happen around the corner. And you're trying many things. And then in one of those days, you end up meeting somebody. sharing your own plan because the others' plans were not working. You created your own plan. And you ask them, look, here is what I'm doing. Will you support me on this? You're pleading almost, by the way. Almost pleading. You have no ego. Or everything's gone. Because you've been beaten to death. Your ego has been beaten to death. That's a great thing, by the way, in retrospect. That time you have no idea what's happening to you. And that person says, I like what you're doing. I'm going to back you. That moment is what all I waited for 2.5 years. But it came 2.5 years later when you suddenly realize that all the things that you were trying to do, there was a much larger plan of creation of InMobi, because if those things didn't fail, InMobi wouldn't have been created. And to me, I realized the value of having faith after 2.5, 3 years of being in the grind. Therefore, my first message, you're going to go through a grind. You must fail many times. And while you fail, there'll be many people who will try to, ask you to go back to what's obvious. Have faith and keep at it. It's the most important thing that you can do. You're all already very lucky. There is a much larger plan that's created up there for you. Just allow for it to take place, and you'll be taking places. My message number 2 that was told to me was love what you do. Every papa out here says, Ladka mera bada naam karega. That's not happening if you're going to just follow what everybody else has done. That is going to happen if you're going to do what you love, what you really, really enjoy, because then you'll excel at it. Then you'll make a name that your father, your mother would be really, really proud of. And so, you have to somewhere take a break from the dogma of the society. What society expects you to do, that's not something that you should do. You should do what you love to do. Society will ask you to do things which is what they have seen to be successful. You're not created for this. We are living in a new world. You have to do things differently. You have to do things which you love. They may not align with the plan of the society. They will not align with the plan of your neighbors. They will not align with the plan of your parents. They need to be your plans. And therefore, you need to love what you do. I come from a family of academicians. My grandmother was the first professor across all IITs. My father was a professor and dean at IIT. My uncle is a professor at IIT. Everyone expected me to go ahead and do a PhD and become a professor. I just didn't think I'll be great at it. Not that it's hard. I just don't think I'll be great at it. I just didn't think I'll enjoy it. I loved the profession. I just wasn't there for me. I was forced to go for it. But I had very lucky parents. I have a very, very supportive parents. They didn't force me to go down this path. So I became an entrepreneur. I loved creating things. I realized that I wasn't built for going and trying to, take somebody else's work forward. I wasn't built for that. I realized that I love creating things. I realized that I love disrupting things. And so I went on to be an entrepreneur. When I decided to be one, I didn't know what it meant. And when I decided to be one, there were not many examples to be had. Yes, you had examples of the Ambanis and the Tatas and the Birlas. We come from a middle-class family. That's not for us. That's too far up. We're not getting there anyway. So stop dreaming, you middle-class boy. Go do what's right for you. But I didn't enjoy it. I knew even if I did something that I would enjoy. And even if I failed in it, I would have no regrets in my life. And that's what my father told me. Love what you do so that you have no regrets in your life. Today, I have absolutely no regrets in my life. And now, I absolutely love what I do day in and day out. I hope for you, I really hope for you, that you can love what you do. Whether you're successful or not, leave it up there. There is a larger plan for you, but give it a shot. Don't go and live somebody else's life. I have a request for parents. You saw your children give you a standing ovation. It was for your effort. It was for your belief in them. It is time that you trust them even further. Each one of them out here are special. Very, very special. Every one of us have something innately special in us. And they will go ahead and change the world for you. They'll go ahead and change the world that we live in. Just let them be, because they will be successful and they will be amazing at what they're going to do. Just let them do what they love. That's my message number 2. My message number 3 that I got was very different. He said, be crazy and take risks. I wasn't sure what it meant. And this probably has taken me the longest to understand. But then I realized, being crazy and taking risk is significantly better than trying to avoid failures. Each one of us can really do a great job in avoiding failures. But that's not why you are here. The reason why you are here is so that you can be crazy, you can take risks, and you can disrupt the world. That's why you are here. When we started InMobi, we started that in India. Many, many people that were friends of mine, friends of the company, told me to go and start the company in San Francisco. Why? Talent is better there. They were right. The historical data suggested that they are right. They were just unwilling to look at the future. And so somebody else tried to predict the future differently. They're called crazy. We didn't go back. We went deeper. We built a company out of India. And we take huge pride, amazing pride, in having built a company out of India, because today what we've created is not just created world-class products that are better than what Google and Facebook have created and multiple years ahead of them, but we've also been able to create a company which is global, present in 17 countries and 23 cities in a matter of about 7 years. And the reason that happened is not because that was planned. The reason that happened is not because, somebody put a plan to say, here is how we will build all of these things. It's because there was a belief in something which was not believed by others. And therefore, we went for it. And the idea is, as you look at your own life, you have to essentially go for something crazy. You have to take those risks, because unless and otherwise you take those risks, you are not going to explore what the world has to offer for you. So that's my message number 3. 3 things is all I had from my father. 3 things. Have faith. There is something larger up there for you. Love what you do so that you don't regret later on. And be crazy, take risks, create disruption, are the only 3 messages that I basically inherited from my father. And I'm glad that I somewhere inherited those messages, because they've shaped who I am and what I am. And frankly, if I can do it, coming from middle class town in UP, I am pretty sure each one of you out here can do significantly larger and significantly better things in life. Each one of you today are living in an era that I wished I was graduating from. An era where India is just arriving. It's an amazing time to be in India, by the way. Amazing time. India is changing. You know, where China was 10 years ago is India right now. Over the next 10 to 15 years, technology will come in and disrupt and change India. And you could be the architects of that changed India. We have a lot of problems in India. But with problems comes opportunities. And those are the opportunities that if you can solve for even one of those problems, little ones, you will create massive disruption in the country. Yes, we have bad roads. Yes, we have, filth out there. Yes, we don't have internet working. But we have something which is going for it, which is each one of you guys who could actually pick up those problems and solve for it. Over the next 15 years, technology in India will solve the problems of education. We cannot, at the pace at which our young population is coming in, we cannot anymore have more teachers of this caliber come in and teach them. What you have gone through is very, very lucky. Be very thankful. Many, many other people, 95% of other people will not be able to go through that. How do you teach so many people? You need to use technology. Each one you have a great health center out here and so many hospitals around you. Most of the people in the world and the country will not have hospitals. There will be no way for them to get treated. They will not even be detected of problems. But there is a solution that technology can provide. We hear every day problems of security that women in India face. Can we put more policemen on the road? No, you cannot. Technology will solve for that problem again. And I can go on and on and on of the amount of things that this country can be solved through technology, that each one of you, without requiring the amount of capital that was required to essentially create enterprises in the past, can do so today. You can create massive enterprises in the next 5 to 10 years. One of the largest companies in India, its founder told me, what took them 40 years to build will take newer companies less than 10 years to do. That's the era that you are now entering. But in order to capture for that era, you need to essentially go for it. Each one of you Bitsians are amazingly talented. Amazingly talented. You just don't know it. Even if you know it, I hope you don't subside it. I hope you go for it. As you leave these doors today, there is a world out there full of opportunities waiting for you. Those opportunities are ready. It is only up to you whether you hold on to them or not. If you choose not to hold on to it, it's your problem. But if you did, and if you do, and I hope you do, you will change India. You will make India better. And we'll all be a proud Indian. I am pretty sure that this group of people will be great leaders. They will be great leaders of tomorrow, creating massive disruption in the world, not just in India, frankly, globally. I'm going to do something today which I don't think generally happens in convocations. I want to capture this moment. Capture this moment with all of you, great leaders in the making. And I want to keep it close to my heart. Because one day, when each one of you, several of you, hopefully most of you, become great leaders, I can go and say, I was part of that group that graduated in the year 2015 from BITS Pilani Goa campus. I'm actually going to take a selfie. It's never done before, so what? I love what I do. I am crazy. And I'm going to do it. But I don't want you guys to be sitting down like this. I need some activity. So as I take this, let's have some activity at the background. I want to capture this moment for myself and for everybody else. All right, guys. Come on. We need to see something here. I can't hear you. Once again, to the graduating class of 2015, extremely proud of what you guys have achieved. I wish each one of you amazing success in the future. Amazing, amazing success. I am pretty sure you will be great leaders and you will make India proud. Thank you so much. Jai Hind.